I go onto the internet, entering best, newest, smartest, greatest stuttering book in the world.
And that's when I was like, you know what? I need to do something about my speech or else it's going to get worse.
That's when I found Coach Lovett.
What's happening here? I'm glad that I accepted the challenge.
And helping me finally find happiness.
You gave me back hope when I had once lost it.
It's been an amazing experience.
It's inspirational.
It's incredible what you can do once you have this platform. You can do a lot more than you think you can.
I've learned more life lessons from Coach Lee than I'd ever expect.
Thank you for everything you have taught me.
So I really think there was a purpose to it, and I really feel like it finally had served its purpose. Now it's finally time to let go.
My self-esteem and my self-confidence increased even more.
This is a team effort, like you need this team to succeed.
And support this community of ex-Stutterers.
So I can guarantee that your speech will only grow better and better.
Boom, there you go. You got it beat.
So I started on Google and I just typed the words, how to stop stuttering. And it only took me a few minutes to stumble upon Lee's book, and I will never forget it. I took one look at it and I thought it was complete jargon. I thought it sounded absurd, honestly. And I had been down this path so many times before. I was never successful in finding my answer, but I could tell that this time it was very different. I just started reading from his book. I immediately recognized his experiences, and I could tell that Lee had previously stuttered himself, and I could really resonate with his stories, and I started using his methods right away. I started doing the auto suggestions, the mind training, reading aloud for an hour every day, and I saw results immediately. It felt like my whole life had changed overnight. The most important lesson that I've taken away from this program is that nothing you truly want will ever come quickly and easily. It will take time, it will take dedication and struggling at times. And there were so many times when I just wanted to quit, to just give up and learn to live with my stuttering, as so many people have told me growing up. But had I done that, I wouldn't be where I am today. I can say that this program, honestly, in a way, saved my life. And I owe this all to Lee, his generosity, his kindness, for his drive, for never giving up on any of us, which I can't really understand. I know for certain that if it weren't for you guys, for being on this journey with me, I never would have started and I never would have finished. Seeing you all, listening to your stories has been the most rewarding part of this program. So again, thank you for listening to me, for being on this journey with me, and helping me finally find happiness.
I type in my audiobook app, Stutter, and Lee's book pops up. I gave it a listen, and it really helped a lot. What helped me the most in the book, which is focusing on the message. It was the first time I said something without stuttering under extreme pressure. After that, I kept telling to myself, wow, wow, wow. From that moment, I knew I had become a PWSS. I got to work with Javier, and he pretty much laid out exactly what I needed to do to reduce my choppy speech. One major tip I have for a PWS or even PWSS is, if possible, stop all planning words, even when you don't feel that you're going to stutter. When you start planning words, quickly replace them with one positive speech affirmation and flood that affirmation in your mind until the word planning goes completely away. I believe humans were meant to communicate with one another. We're the only species in the world that can communicate verbally. All of us deserve our voices to be heard. Too many opportunities were taken away from us. So let's play the cards we were dealt with to the best of our abilities. I truly believe that anyone that gives their best to this program the way that it's laid out can become a PWSS. Thank you, Javier, for gravitating me toward the world of fluency even faster. And thank you everyone that's part of this community. The progress I'm witnessing some of you make is motivating me to keep staying on the program. Thank you, Lee, for sharing your experience and knowledge with us. The fact that you actually found a solution is truly unbelievable. You gave me back hope when I had once lost it. Lee, if you were an animal, you would be a goat because you are the greatest of all time.
I still remember how hopeless I was when I first met Lee. I was not able to tell my name and my stutter was highly situational. I could easily go from mild to severe in seconds, but after my first session with Lee, names seemed to be a bit easy for me. Always focus on the solution and not the problem. Always see your speech as a practice session, because practice allows you to make mistakes and not to be perfect. Nobody in the world is perfect. Don't be too harsh on yourself, because stutterers are the strict graders. They grade themselves so harsh. Please don't do that. We all hiccup and we all have good days and bad days. The strength lies not in speaking fluently, but in the way you pick yourself up back. And the lesson that I learned is, the most important one is doing your homework, which is reading aloud every day, doing your ASTs and using the crutches and being a speech cop. So if you're not able to do this, then ask yourself, why are you here in the first place? Why do you want to be a stutterer? Why do you want to be stutter-free if you don't even have the motivation to become stutter-free? So if a person wants something, he will do it no matter what. Do not quit this program after the first milestone, which is becoming a PWSS. Becoming PWSS is easy. All you have to do is religiously follow 1, 2, 3 punch and being a speech cop. But the harder part comes after, in which you have to prove to yourself that you are fluent in all the situations. Not only fluent, but you actually love to speak. How beautiful is that? Success is defined as moving from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm. And my one last suggestion would be, please make use of the crutch practice sessions and attend SAM meetings regularly, because showing up every single time shows how much you wanted to succeed in this journey of stuttering. So I can guarantee that your speech will only grow better and better.
I distinctly remember hopping on my phone and Googling, is there a cure to stuttering? And the first thing that I saw was that there was no cure. And when I saw that, I lost a lot of hope. It seemed like nothing was going to work out, and this was just my life. And finally I found Lee's book, and things started to change for the best. I didn't know what was going to happen. I honestly thought it might have been a scam initially because it sounded too good to be true, but everything seemed to turn around. And the one thing that really surprised me about Lee's methods and mentality was that stuttering was only a small puzzle piece in the big game that it was trying to play. It was really more about controlling your mindset and even getting to a state where you speak better than people who don't have a stuttering disability to begin with, and you love to speak by the end of the process. I can definitely say that having been in this process for a year and a half, it's been an amazing experience. And one thing I'll also say is coaching others has really helped me kind of expand outside my comfort zone. When you coach someone, you start learning about the program even more, and you really start testing whether you know the actual crutches. Because if you can actually teach someone else, that's when you really are fluent in the subject matter. Lee had not created this organization and had just kept to himself after being successful, none of us would have had the success that we've had. So we also shouldn't, go down that role of just succeeding and not teaching others. Once we get over this difficult but very doable disability, we should be able to help others get over their speech disability. And I really like how the organization is moving, and I think that things are going really well. So I'm really excited for the movement of this organization.
And that's when I was like, you know what, I need to do something about my speech, or else it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So I was looking for avenues, platforms, books, etc. And that's when I stumbled on Lee's book. So I read the book in French because I'm more at ease in French. And as soon as I started reading the book, I was like, that's it. This makes sense to me. I believe in the first part of the book, he speaks about mind training. And I believe that our mind is either our biggest ally or our worst type of enemy, right? And I believe in mind training. I've been doing it a long time for other things in my life, but never for my speech. Probably because I thought that, you know what, there's not much that I can do with my speech, right? But then when I was reading the book, his book of Lee, I realized that, hey, I should be doing the same thing that I've been doing for my goals, for my careers, for my health, with my speech. So far, I've had, I believe, 6 classes or sessions with Lee Lovett, and they've been going great. And I find that I can battle whatever I'm working on if I focus on one thing at a time, one day at a time.
I'm 70 years old, and I go onto the internet, entering best, newest, smartest, greatest stuttering book in the world, and a few books come up, but what catches my attention is this book. And what really got me was the mind training and neuroplasticity. It's like somehow, that's hooking me, bringing me in. So at the end of the book, I noticed that this author, this guy, Lee Lovett, whoever he is, B.G. Lovett, okay, I'm gonna email this guy and say, hey, I'm 70 years old, I'm long in the tooth, can you help me? And surprisingly, he emails back, yeah, and I did pretty well, and things really clicked. The reading out loud, I didn't think that was gonna really help me, but it actually did. Like I was able to like play with my speech when I practiced reading. The auto suggestions and the self-hypnosis, like that was right up my alley. Lee, I want to thank you so much for all the time and effort, writing all these books, creating this big program and all these people here. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank the coaches, for being there, for me and I guess for everybody else as well. And also I want to thank my speech mates. I do the practice sessions during the week.
I searched into Amazon and found several books about stuttering. I ordered 3 of them. And the third one was Stuttering and Anxiety Self-Cures, the edition by Lovett. At the same time, I watched a couple of videos of Lovett. In one of them, he included his email address, so I decided to write him a mail asking for help. He was very accessible and answered to me on the same day, explaining a specific path to defeat stuttering. He recommended several steps to start with the path to fluency. So I started with enthusiasm, my recovery path, embracing the 4 goals expressed by Lee in his mail. Stop stuttering, learn to love to speak in all venues, adopt a lifelong regimen of mind training to elevate one's life, and join a support system of ex-stutterers that help me and others maintain fluency and elevate lives. I was astonished by the clarity of Lovett regarding the targets and methodology to defeat Satan stuttering, as he called it. He showed his experience not only in overcoming stuttering, but also on the way of helping others to overcome it as well. The following are the most important learnings in my encounter with Lovett and his wonderful program. I remember a coaching session with Lee when he asked me for several times, "Do you believe, Jorge? Do you believe?" "I believe, Lee. I believe," was my answer. I have followed the method of Lovett with fantastic results. It is possible to overcome this problem when there is the willingness and a clear path to follow, a coach, a book, specific tools, and a practical manual that guarantees success. A big thank to Lovett and my admiration to him for his great contribution to the world and his passion to help people. I hope and pray that he remains in good health conditions for many years to continue working on his project of eradicating stuttering from the planet. I know that WSSA was smartly founded to do this, but listening to Lovett in some meetings, witnessing his passion, conviction, and energy is inspirational.
I was 24 when I found these books, so it literally took me 6 years to find Lee, and that was periods of okay, I'm okay, I'm gonna just live with it, and then frustration, and then buying a book, and then trying to learn more about a course, watching a YouTube channel, whatever, and then another period of no, I'm okay, I'll just live with it, and then back and forth. And I finally found Lee's book in March of 2019. And the reason I got the book was I was on Amazon just scrolling through books and reading reviews because I didn't really care what the book said. I wanted to know what people in the reviews were talking about because I know that's where you find the truth. So people were saying, well, this is a totally different approach because it's not a list of hacks, which I already had things that would help me in certain situations, but that wasn't enough because if the situation changed a little bit, then all that stuff went out the window. It didn't work anymore. And the reviews were saying this is more than that. This is tools to help you in the moment, but then it's a big picture. It's training and it's adjusting your mind and neuroplasticity and all this stuff. I thought, okay, well, I'll give this a shot. I totally found that to be true. When I opened the book, the words that Lee had down were exactly how I felt. He understood the pain that I had been through and the struggle. And that was what really drew me in. And in that first chapter, he just jumped into describing the issues, and he was dead on. Because a lot of times, people that have never experienced anything like this have no clue what you're going through. And they even though they have a passionate heart and a want to help, not understanding where you've been can be it's not a turn off. It's just like, okay, I mean, I know you're trying to help, but we're not connecting there. So first chapter of Lee's book, totally connected. Like, okay, this guy knows what I've been through, and I think he can help. I don't think I realized it at the time, but mind training is such a huge tool. I mean, it's a superpower. Thought this is the greatest thing ever. Well, at the end of the book, it said to email him. Gave me an email address. I was like, what the heck? There's no way he's going to email me back, but I'll try it. Shot him an email, and of course, being Lee, responded within a couple hours. Hey, we should talk. So we set up a Skype meet, and the rest is history. You can improve your life. You can do things you never thought you'd been able to do before. You can push that comfort zone. You can take on the world. It's incredible what you can do once you have this platform of good fluency. You can do a lot more than you think you can.
Finding Coach Lee's book changed my life. The book alone helped me tremendously. I read the book cover to cover, multiple times, out loud, every single day. In fact, I call it the speech Bible. The book not only focuses on stuttering, but also teaches you to become a better speaker overall. The book had a huge impact on my life because it made it clear to me that I stuttered only because I allowed myself to stutter. After all these years, I thought that stuttering did not have a cure, but now I see how wrong that statement was. Talking to Coach Lee on a weekly basis cemented the fact that I could be stuttering. He changed the way I approached my problem and guided me from the moment I met him, and I will always be grateful. I'm always excited to speak with him as I learn something new from him every time. He has taught me that being the most extreme example of yourself is something everyone should strive to do. He insists that we should do our best at everything we do and be as loving as we can to everything and everyone. The positivity and wisdom that Coach Lee shares with me is contagious and makes me want to become a better person in all aspects of my life. So, Coach Lee, thank you for everything you have taught me.
My dad actually sent me a link on Amazon, and he was like, oh, check this out. And it was actually the second edition of Lee's book. I read it, and I really enjoyed it. Just reading the book alone helped me 10 to 15 times. That time, I kind of knew that this is the time, and I was so sure. And I remember I was on the train home, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this so seriously, and then I'm gonna make sure I'm not gonna leave this program until I reach Coach Lee's level. I want to thank this whole community, the people, and all the people that regularly come to Crash Practice Group. Like, you guys have really helped me. You guys are all amazing, and I go there every week, pretty much, and I really enjoy it. It helps my speech. And also, I want to thank Ken and Gil. I know that they never had this issue, but the passion that they have for this is incredible. I don't know where it comes from. I know where Lee's passion comes from, because he had this issue. He knows what it's like. So, and I know you guys have set up the website, and let me just tell you, this is the best website ever. I've spent hundreds of hours. So I've seen a lot of SAM meetings. So, and I've seen a lot of coaching videos. So spent a lot of time on it, and they've been really helpful. And of course, the one and only Coach Lee G. Lovett, the passion that you have, the book that you're not only. If you would have just written the book, that would have been more than enough. That would have been like, this guy's incredible. But the passion that you have, what you're doing, you're willing to do whatever it takes. I know, you're even willing to go on TikTok, for this. So that just shows you'll do anything. So it's just the passion that you have, the community that you created. I cannot thank you enough. This is just the start of a journey for me. I feel like I'm nowhere near finished. I feel like I'm just getting started. There's a saying or something like that. Like if you want to get rich, if you want to become a billionaire, the hardest part is making your first million. So I feel like I made my first million by becoming a PWSS and being a part of this community. But I'm nowhere near finished, and I'll keep going until I'm fluent 99.9% of the time. And I think it's gonna take some time, but I'm really looking forward to that journey. Stuttering had a purpose, and now, to make us tougher, to make us, because you learn from your tough experiences, to make us smarter, more perceptive of things. But now that purpose has been served, and that it's time to let go. I don't think it was random, that it just kind of creeped into my life. There's been too many coincidences and events that kind of, stuttering was in my life before I even knew it was in my life. So I really think there was a purpose to it, and I really feel like it finally had served its purpose, and now it's finally time to let go.
I personally think I've learned more life lessons from Coach Lee than I'd ever expect. I really believe that stuttering is a bad habit that can be eliminated. Stuttering can be destroyed and stopped, and you don't have to suffer through it like the other 70 million stutterers who believe that it's a curse. I honestly found it a blessing. Frankly, if a 13-year-old was able to stop it, why shouldn't a 30-year-old be able to stop it as well? Since I started mind training, my outlook on life has improved immensely. Before, I used to be quite depressed and sad, and I'm pretty sure the virus only made it 10 times worse. Now, I'm exuberant and ready to do anything. If I could go back in time to my 10, 11-year-old self, I'd tell myself this: never believe stuttering is unsolvable, and use the crutches. And lastly, mind training. Without any of those, I'd never overcome stuttering. I will say WSSA has helped me destroy stuttering. Without their over 1,000 video lessons, I'd still be stuttering. And lastly, I wish to thank everyone at this meeting with me. I would still be a stuttering wreck without you all. I'd probably have speech anxiety, and I'd be terrified to be on stage. I would also love to thank Coach Lee. Without you, I'd still be at square one. I would never, ever gone to be so fluent with my speech. I would still be stuttering and downright a horrible and miserable person. Everything you've done has helped me immensely. And I'm so grateful that you're willing to spend countless hours of personalized attention with anyone, including me. And after this long speech road and journey, I can officially say I'm stutter-free. I was Google searching stuttering after having a particularly bad speech incident. That's when I found Coach Lee Lovett.
I will confess, I was older and jaded by then, almost ambivalent. Since I'd worked out a life that accommodated my speech handicap to a certain extent. By the way, I'm 57 now. Unlike Lee, I'm not at all concerned with anyone knowing how old I am. It's just reframing as far as I'm concerned. Old is gold, Lee, and don't you forget it, sir. But I envy the young whippersnappers who will find the Lee Lovett method. I know that if it was available when I was younger, I would have ravenously devoured all the content that is now so copiously and easily available on the WSSA website. In my opinion, the genius of Lee Lovett was to concoct and combine the three key components he explains in great detail within his excellent books. This 1-2-3 punch that Patricia, Javier, Clifton, and the other great coaches of WSSA refer to and teach students so well. These are the ingredients that, when mixed together and applied equally, dissolves and can finally vanquish the years of conditioning and crippling speech impediments that plague all stutters. I like to think of the mind training as the inner work, the crutches as the outer work, and the reading aloud that energizes them both. There were many twists and turns in my speech journey, many lows and thankfully highs as well. I feel blessed for everything that has happened to me because I've learned not only about communicating better with others, but perhaps more importantly, about communicating within myself.
I Googled one day and found Lee's book accidentally. The title of the book was, of course, How to Stop Stuttering and Love Speaking. How awesome it was. That was exactly what I wanted to get an answer for. I ordered the book right away and I started reading it and discussed it with my wife. After reading the whole book, I thought I had understood it probably only less than 10% to a level that I could use with my speech or apply to my speech. So I decided to contact Lee, and surprisingly, I got an email back. He has coached me since then, and my speech and how I view my speech and myself changed positively. He opened the door to the whole new world of fluency. One of the methods I believe critical and important is daily auto-suggestion treatment. It was only through coaching session that made me realize the importance of this process. I am grateful to Coach Lee for giving me the whole opportunity to tackle and soon end my battle with stuttering and speech anxiety, and more importantly, emphasize the importance of discipline and conviction in changing my thoughts and behaviors positively. I'm also lucky to have you all who attend some meetings and support this community of ex-Stutterers.
And I found Lee's book, and I didn't know at the time that this moment will change my whole life. At first it was interesting to read, but I was still skeptical. Is it really working and not just a scam? Because in the past I have read several books about stuttering and how to deal with stuttering, and some of them gave me some relief, but none of them offered a real, permanent solution. I had the privilege to talk to Javier, who kindly explained to me the main points of the Lovett method. And I think I joined SAC, which is now WSSA, at the end of summer 2020. And I watched some coaching videos, and then I found the missing part, which was coaching. And I got a wonderful coach called Leah, who really pushed me and believed in me, which I think is very important. Because when someone is rooting for you and trusting you, it's much harder to just become lazy and ignore the daily practice. And getting the constant feedback was also important and useful. I believe that when you reach the point in your speech, it's not that hard to achieve it again, even if you have relapsed, which I think is beautiful. And Lee really pushed me to write and publish my success story. I didn't want it at first because I still had that self-image, but I still stutter. It was helpful because it really cemented my new identity as a PWSS. And my story was posted in early 2022. Then the most recent big challenge, my SEM speech. And thanks to Javier, I practiced it many times, even though I was scared, and I'm still a bit scared. And to be honest, I didn't want to do this at first, but I wanted to do this for myself and for the community, to really show that this method works. And you don't have to just accept stuttering, like many people advocate in the stuttering community. I think that speech was also a very important step on my speech journey. I'm glad that I accepted the challenge. So thank you, Lee, for creating this unique method, and thank you for changing my life and others' lives forever. Thank you, Leah, Javier, Patricia, and thank you, John, for the clutch practice sessions.
I started watching his coaching videos on YouTube, and to be honest, I was quite skeptical about his methods. As I was thinking, come on, this is just one of these scammers that is trying to sell this magical method to beat stuttering. But then, seeing that he was doing coaching for free and posting all of that on YouTube, I was thinking, what's happening here? there is something that doesn't make sense. How is he making money? And I decided to buy his book, just like to give it a try, to see how it was. And reading the book, I saw a concept, the magical concept of neuroplasticity. And then I started to think, that's possible that this method actually works. So I decided to join SAC and to do all the videos and courses online. Plus, I started coaching with Javier. I have to say that my improvement has not been like a straight line all the way up. Sometimes I was really focused, I was reading aloud a lot, I was doing auto-suggestions 3 times a day, all the time, really focused. And I could see how I was growing, and then something happened, and I was going a tiny bit down or in a plateau. But then I was going back to put a lot of work, and again up. And slowly, it has been a line that has been growing consistently. And now I am a PWSS. SAC will give you the tools, but you are the one who needs to do all the hard work. Then, this one is more based for myself, but probably a lot of you may feel the same. So please stop caring about what others think about you, and you will beat stuttering.
I have found this book. This book changed everything. I can assure there is one version of myself before reading this book and one version after reading it. Lee explains everything that I believe in, that we need to change our thoughts, improve our speech. I kept doing the exercise. My speech has improved a lot. I was able to talk to other people and to talk on the phone. After 5 months, Lee emailed me and we started talking. We began our sessions, and after 4 or 5 sessions, I posted my successful story. That day was one of the happiest days of my life, but I still had many fears of speaking. That's why Lee suggested me to be coached by another person. I told Javier. We started talking in July, and being coached by Javier improved even more my speech. Javier pointed out specifically when and where I needed to improve, and because of that, my fears of speaking were also decreasing. And after this period, my self-esteem and my self-confidence increased even more.
At my peak stuttering, I found Lee's book. I found Lee's book on Amazon, and then in December, I sent an email to Lee. Then he came back to me, hey, count your blessings. This is the only place where we cure stuttering, and this is sort of very cheap, nominal cost. Then I thought, yeah, of course. And then I went back to India. I was on a vacation, and I started looking at Lee's book, and I didn't read it completely. I read half. I was in depression. This was the time when I wanted to give a try. I was interviewing as well. I just wanted to feel myself, and I was going bad and bad and bad. And then I read Lee's book 30, 50, 60%. I watched it in one of his courses, the Crutch Practice Mastery series. And then I pinged him back, hey, Lee, can you get me onto the coaching, But then that's when I started coaching with Pratyusha. And then she said, your stuttering can be cured very easily. The stuttering, the biggest challenge is if you force words. But I couldn't believe, I didn't get confidence. But after a few sessions, I started recovering. I started going to these crutch practice sessions, and things started improving. And largely, I think the things that impacted me the most were looking at some of the stutter stories. I think few people, there were some videos, how they spoke before and after. I think that sort of gave me confidence that this method would work. Things have improved a lot after joining WSSA. Yeah, there's a lot of positive energy. I think stutterers require a lot of positive energy. It's a negative experience. Somehow there is a negative energy, negative experience within you that's sort of hindering you from speaking. Positive reinforcement that happens with WSSA helped me a lot. So yeah, I would like to thank Lee for his book. I think it's a fantastic book, and all the examples that he has created, and the SAM Club. I would like to also thank my coach. I think without my coach help, I would not have come here. Hey, here is a PWSS who became PWSS and who is very, very fluent now. And then that changed my course a lot. And everybody in the crutch practice sessions, this is a team effort. You need this team to succeed. So really thankful to the team, the SAM Club, and everyone. So
I just really want to thank Lee. I mean, it's a fantastic book, and if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I've had all these bad habits, almost 59 years, and it's just basically in your mind. I mean, that's all it is. It's not really a disease, is what some people think that it is. Something in your mind. You just got to get rid of those old habits, and once you do that, just get these fluency things in your mind and say that if I can say one word anywhere, anytime, I can say any word anywhere, anytime. And I think that in my mind all day. And it has been such a blessing. I mean, such a blessing. I mean, my life in like 3 months have just changed like you would not believe. Like I told Coach Lee, I mean, what I can do for him, if I could help anybody, I would be more than happy to help them, because I mean, this is just fantastic. And it's easy. All you have to do is just stick with the program. Once you stick with that program, you can do it. You can definitely do it. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I started thinking about passion about speaking, and I said once I started thinking about something else besides stuttering, I didn't stutter anymore. Boom, there you go. You got it beat.